All right, we're cooking.
We're cooking.
Do you want to tell the people where we are?
Yes, we are in the beautiful town of Allenstown, and we are at the Suncook Campground, enjoying ourselves here at one of the most inclusive campgrounds, I think, in New Hampshire.
It's New Hampshire's favorite campground, I think.
Absolutely. And run by an amazing guy, too, Joe, who's like, he's been so nice to us, so good to us. Yeah, absolutely. And just has gone out of, I see the guy just like running up and down the streets all day, just like working, you know, and he wants to give us the best experience here. And it really has been like such an amazing experience. And just so happy to be here with everyone in the New NHTok community.
I know, we got a nice little crew. Some of our friends here. We're super excited that Joe and Suncook River Campground put us up here for the weekend. And it's nice because we are all together, which is really nice. We got a lot of our friends here, and we're celebrating something, which is pretty fun too.
We are.
I don't know. There've been some teasing. There's been some like hints going on. What are we kind of celebrating here today?
Well, Marissa, you know, we have been yelling at people on the internet for so long, and we think that has hit has hit a critical, you know, I think we've done as much yelling as we can, as you can tell by my hoarse voice. So I am taking a break from that, and I think I'm going to jump into the real arena, running for New Hampshire State Rep out of Nashua, Hillsborough District 11. Oh, you guys are amazing. You guys are so nice. No, and this I know this is going to sound cliche, and I'm sure a lot of people say this, but this is not my campaign. It really is not. I never envisioned myself, at least not so soon, jumping into state level politics. The people you're going to see throughout the day today, they have all been instrumental to me running. Every single one of them, every single person that's going to sit with us has been absolutely instrumental in my decision to run. And they've convinced me that as a group, we can make a difference in New Hampshire. We can take New Hampshire back. And that's why I'm here, because I have seen New Hampshire kind of fall into the hands of free staters over the past whatever amount of years. And this is the place I grew up. I mean, like, my neighbors, kids that I grew up with, are being pushed out of the state by carpetbaggers, for lack of a better word, free staters that are coming here to just wreck our government. So I'm not only excited, but I'm absolutely floored by like the amount of support and the amount of love that I've gotten over this run. And I hope I don't let any of you guys down. I'm going to try my hardest.
Yeah, I hope not either.
Yeah. You got tough crowd here. Yeah, tough crowd.
No, it's going to be good. Talk a little bit about kind of the process up to this point. Like you said, this wasn't something that had been in the plan for a long time. Can you talk about, because to be clear, the filing deadline, we're still a couple weeks away from filing deadline. So if somebody at home is watching this and they're like, I don't know, maybe like, it doesn't seem that hard. Like, can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah.
Your experience so far in the last couple of weeks?
Absolutely. I mean, I can tell you that even self-learning a lot of the things that I had to do to get into the race, which again, the launch of the race, you know, the June 3rd to June 12th, I think is the registration period. So you still have time, you know, if you're looking to run, I see people in the crowd, they're thinking about running. It is not too late. And don't be overwhelmed by the process. Sometimes reading the instructions, getting the checklists when they tell you what you have to prepare for and what you have to do, it sounds a lot more complicated than it is. But it's really a matter of, you know, getting in contact with, for me personally, Paige Boschman, State Rep Paige Boschman, was very instrumental in telling me that a seat was open, and she had me in mind. And like I said, the seat opened up, you know, so before that, a lot of it was like kind of like online activism. It turned into real activism, real organizing. New NHTok, again, has been growing. I advise everyone to go check out New NHTok. And one thing led to another. And I think I was just sick of yelling at people on the internet. And it had a certain effect, but after a while, you're just like, you need to start yelling at the people inside the room, you know, that are inside the State House, which is, I think, what I'm ready to do now.
I think some people in the State House need to have a little bit more of that energy brought to them in person and in real life.
Absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the organizations and resources that are available to people who are getting started? Specifically, I'm thinking about, I know 603 Forward was really helpful for you.
603 Forward, like godsend. Like seriously, one of the best organizations. Every person in that organization has been helpful. I'm gonna shout out Beck, who I have been speaking to directly, meeting with at during meetings, meeting with me one-on-one. They are always available. They are always willing to help, running a lot of the sessions too. And I can tell you, I've been to 2 603 Forward training sessions, and there are a few. There's like, something like 10 that they have, and then they have a big weekend where it's all, and it's gonna, I'm gonna forget what it's called, what the weekend is called. It's coming up. I think it's late May, where they have one-on-one training. They have all the 603 Forward people there. They have a whole bunch of organizational support, a whole bunch of, for example, one of the trainings we had was door knocking training, right? Which is something I'm used to. I've worked for campaigns, but sometimes it seems like a little bit overwhelming to kind of like knock on doors and cold knock on people. But we had a whole training. They had a whole bunch of actors there knocking door to door, kind of practicing. By the 5th door, it's like, send me to the neighborhoods, like let me go talk to the people. And I think I wasn't the most confident going into the process, but 603 Forward was just so instrumental to making everything make sense for me. And then just shouting out a few state reps too: Paige Boschman, Heath Howard, Billy Butler. I'm gonna miss some names, but they are very approachable. These people are like awesome. I'm telling you, they're really cool people. They're just like us.
And I think everyone's eager for more allies too. You know what I mean? The folks
always.
who are already doing the work in the State House are eager to like help you join them.
For sure. For sure. And I'm sure there are other organizations I'm missing here, I'm forgetting about, but there are so many that are willing to they are just a plethora of information for you that they're willing to give you, as long as you're willing to ask, so.
Yeah. What do you want people to think about who are watching this that are maybe considering running for something for the first time? Do you want them to do it with you? Can we do it as a team? We get a little NHTok team going.
My Lord, if I could get as many of you in there with me as possible, especially this one right here. Put some pressure on this one, one of these days. But no, I mean, listen, we have power in numbers. That's what it is. And sometimes, and again, I come from a philosophy where when you deal with authoritarians, when you deal with fascists, you have to match their energy sometimes, and what they respond to is strength. The biggest form of strength is in that room is numbers, right? The more people you have in that room, the better. And then again, you'll have someone like me in there. If you know me or you don't know me, you follow me online or something, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be, making myself the kind of like the lightning rod in there if I can. I'll take all the attention from the bad boy free staters, while the people behind me are doing the right things in the state and are able to like kind of grease their wheels and go. So my big thing is, don't feel intimidated by the process. Don't feel intimidated by the act of running. New Hampshire is such a weird state. You have no idea how many seats are probably just open looking for candidates at any given point, and they're like constantly trying to recruit for these seats. So I would say if you can do it, it's hard right now because I'm blessed to be in a situation where I can kind of put some time aside and do this, but this is a job, and if you find yourself in a job which is like a night shift, or you find yourself owning a small business, like, I run a small business, so I'm able to do that, do it, jump in. Worst thing that happens, you don't win. Best thing that happens, you're in the room yelling at those people with me, and God, I'm telling you, we are not that close from a blue New Hampshire. We are not that far. Sorry, we are not that far from a blue New Hampshire. It might just happen.
I want to come back to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly,
Please.
Hey, Joe, do you want to come on in a few minutes, or are you off? No. Was that a yes or no? Okay. All right, I'm going to give him one more question, and then I'm going to pull you on. Talk a little bit about that, right? New Hampshire is so, there's no simple way to describe kind of, are we blue or are we purple, or like things flip, different levels of government flip often. What are you hearing, and what are you kind of, what are you hearing from people as you're moving through this process, and how are you feeling in terms of where the momentum is going?
I can tell you the momentum is on the insurgent side. What do I mean when I say insurgent? I mean the people who are coming in with inspiration, with energy, with oomph, right? New Hampshire, the New Hampshire State House is the oldest legislature in the country. The average age is 61 years old. The average age of New Hampshire residents is 43. Okay, so how much do they know about the everyday life of regular New Hampshire residents? It's like what I like to say, it's a nursing home that can adjust your taxes, right? It's so insane, right? So basically,
Dark.
it's energy right now. Look at who are the most successful people in politics right now. The Zoran Mamdanis, the Graham Plattners, the real insurgents. They're coming in with inspiration. They're not coming in with, you better vote for me because the other thing is really bad. It's like, I'm going to try to work for something better, to fight for something better. So I can tell you right now, the energy, the excitement is on the insurgency, right? Which is the side that's coming in with the inspiration. Now, what am I seeing? I'm hearing from other Democrats, from high-standing Democrats in the State House, that both chambers have an opportunity of flipping. Now, that's an insane thing that can happen kind of overnight, right? Especially in the state right now, it's hard to describe New Hampshire because we have 4 Democratic delegates and a Republican trifecta through the state. So,
Technically Democrats, yeah.
Seriously, yeah, technically, the most moderate Democrats on earth. But I think that gives you a sense of, there's a purple, I say there's like a purple streak that colors the sky here, which is just, people don't care about the party as much as they care about their neighbors. And there is an anti-free, like you can see Republicans and Democrats kind of coalescing around this free state attack that's happening in New Hampshire. I have so many Republicans that reach out to me, state reps that say, we can't wait for you to get into the state house because we need help fighting these free staters. So there is a sense of like kind of diagonal politics happening here in New Hampshire that should give everyone a lot of hope that they're looking past party politics and they're looking at neighbor politics, right? Which is the most important thing, I think, here.
Hell yeah. All right, we're going to bring on some of our friends to hang out with us. This is so fun. We have not done a stream together in like 5 months.
I know, it's been so exciting.
So it's like so fun to do it for this reason with so many people who are doing such great work. So we're going to pull in a couple of our friends. Any other final thoughts on while you're in the campaign headspace?
No.
Where should people go to find out more about you? Do your friggin' elevator pitch. Let's go. Let's practice, baby.
Absolutely. Listen, so you guys can go to Arya4NewHampshire.com. It is still in progress, the website, but it is Arya4NH, just like my my usernames. It's still in progress, but it is up. You'll get a sense of like what my colors are looking like, and but
the important stuff.
The important stuff. The branding.
Branding is key.
What are you gonna do? But my only ask here, I'm not gonna ask you to give me money. I'm not gonna ask you to like follow me. If you are willing, I should, but you know what? This isn't just a political campaign. It's not. I'm not here to the point of this is not me running for state rep. The point of this is me fighting for New Hampshire. This is the path that was laid out for me. I could continue yelling on the internet at people as a tool. I probably still will while I'm running for state rep, but I think that this shouldn't be defined as a political campaign or a campaign to win a race. I think this is a campaign to take New Hampshire back, to get New Hampshire back for New Hampshire residents, for the kids I grew up with, for just everyday, real New Hampshire residents. And I hope you're gonna come fight with me because I can't do it alone.
All right. Killed, yeah. All right, let's do it. All right, let's get our friend Joe up here, owner of Suncook River Campground. Come on in, sit right next to me.
The moment.
Oh, that's right, thanks.
What's up, Joe?
What's up, bud? All right, here. Can you give me your mic?
Yeah, of course, please, yeah, please.
I'm gonna give this one to you. You can hold it in your little fingies like an influencer. Yeah, just put it right in your mouth, swallow it, and we'll hear it all the whole way down. The mosquitoes and the crickets are paid actors on this. I like it.
How do I sound?
We do a little ASMR. They'll let us know in the comments if it's bad. They'll be like, sucks, can't hear you, stupid.
I used to make videos and people would say the volume on the music was really loud. And they'd say I can't hear you, I can't hear you. And I'd say, it's always you can't hear me, it's not you can't listen to me.
All right, Joe, thank you for having us here first
Thanks
of all.
for being here.
Tell us a little bit about, so people who are following, we're streaming this on TikTok right now. We're on Arya's TikTok, so I should probably give him the mic back. But but people following us on TikTok may have seen your face, heard your voice, seen your insane videos in the best possible way. Tell us a little bit about, like, you guys just opened this campground. Take us, like, give us a little backstory on how you ended up here doing this, running a campground.
What's up, everybody? This is Uncle Joe. I'm here to give the backstory on the Suncook River Camp.
It's like putting me into that.
Amazing.
Right now.
So my wife Kim Lindquist and I bought this campground 2 years ago on May 1st. It was completely beat to shit. The prior owner did not do a good job being a steward of the land, which breaks my heart. I always thought that campgrounds were like the last piece of like a respected piece of nature. And unfortunately in New England, you know, they were built in the 1970s, built in the 1980s. They get passed down to the next generation. A lot of times, like, the daughter or the son of a campground owner can't seem to keep up the land. They fall into disrepair. They turn into RV parks. And then they get bought up by private equity. And they lose their soul. They lose their way. And they just become like these ugly, seasonal, soulless RV parks. And so my wife and I retired from our careers in tech. We bought this park 2 years ago. It's been a ton of work. It's been a back-breaking labor of love. We're starting our third season tonight, or last night. We invited as much of NHTok as we could. We built some glamping domes. We've got a bunch of rental RVs. We've got cabins. And we are the only that I know of, progressive glamping campground in southern New Hampshire. We're an hour from Boston. We're about the matriarchy and progressive customers.
Let's go. Yeah, round of applause for that. That's amazing. Yeah, that is amazing. And Joe, we were able to speak a little bit when I first got here, and this kind of dichotomy of going from San Francisco tech to coming here, and I'm watching you, man. I'm watching you during the day, like on your tractor, going back and forth, just like working your ass off. And I just want to know why this and not anything else? Because you're just so being in tech in San Francisco. You're so like you're so, I guess, well equipped with skills, and this is just the complete opposite on the other side of the spectrum. So I'm just wondering why a camp as opposed to anything else.
So, I mean, I grew up poor. I grew up in Everett, right outside of Boston. My wife grew up in Worcester, or in Boylston, right outside of Worcester. We're both really hard workers. We met at a startup. We were very lucky, very fortunate. We had good careers in tech, but it's hard. Like, it's soulless. You get burnt out. And again, we were very lucky. We had good careers. She went to Amazon. I did a bunch of startups. And when it was over, we decided that, we traveled the world, we stayed in yurts, we went for ecotourism, we just love being outside, we love camping. We wanted to do something with our hands, do something that we thought had value, not do management consulting, not just continue to find a way to suck the juice out of the next generation and stay on top of people and just make a living, but run a lifestyle business that had some kind of emotional value. So we found a campground within an hour of where we're from. We found one that was affordable, which means a fixer-upper, and we've spent the last 2 years earning the next phase of our lives. So we love camping, we love nature, and that's why we're here.
You guys have done such an incredible job. It's beautiful. If you guys haven't checked them out, check out their website. They've got so many different options. Depending on how much of a camper you are, you could stay in these really nice RVs. They've got some wicked cool vintage RVs. We're right next to these amazing dome igloo tents that you see all over the internet now. It's very cool. It's amazing. It's been a great experience for a bunch of us have kids here. Everybody's having an amazing time. Tell us a little bit about the reaction. I want to mention, you said that you're really the only openly progressive campground in this area. Talk a little bit about people's reaction to that. I think especially being in New Hampshire right now.
It hasn't been entirely great.
Appreciate the honesty.
I mean, we're getting what we want from this. We're really intentional with our actions. We were in go-to-market, if you know startups. So everything we do with purpose, and we're getting what we want out of this. But the reaction from some folks in southern New Hampshire hasn't been great. we are progressive and we stand really tall for what we believe in. We're an inclusive camp, but this place has been around since the 1970s. And for whatever reason, camping is sometimes like a conservative activity. A lot of MAGA, a lot of Trump, just a lot of conservative testosterone, aggro, like Harley, speedboat, whatever has taken over camping. And like, I don't know if I just was like insulated when we went 2 weeks every summer as a kid. You know, we'd travel to the White Mountains, we'd go to Lake George, we'd go to an amusement park, we'd go mini golfing, and like my brothers and my parents and I, like it was the best 2 weeks every year. It's the best memories I had as a kid. I thought camping was like going for a hike, being outside, doing the polar caves, whatever. I don't know if this is new, like this phenomenon of it being like dudes ripping cigarettes and like and revving engines, or if it was always like that and I just didn't see it when I was a kid. But now it seems like campgrounds are seasonal RV parks where like bad dads rule the roost. So I mean, for real,
Yeah.
but like that's just not what we wanted. So we took over this campground. There were 15 seasonals, sleep all day, drink all night, rip butts, rev Harleys in the morning. And so, you know, we took over, we fixed the boats, we rebuilt the playground, and we'd say, can you keep the bikes out in the front gate? And, you know, at night they'd like host a mutiny and they'd run the motorcycles up and down the road. And so we threw them all out. And then we'd have like someone pop by the next day and say, you know, I used to camp here back in the day and I'd camp for free if I raked out the sites. And they'd get a look at me like I'm, you know, a big guy with a beard and a sleeve tattoo, and they'd think I'm like them. And they'd say some bigoted shit to me and I'd have to throw them out. And I got really sick of that, you know what I mean? Having to like constantly check people and say like, we're progressive here and we're inclusive and we want people to be comfortable here. I got so sick of having that conversation and setting people straight, we hung a pride flag off our sign. And we did it to like let people know that we're progressive here. And it had like two impacts. One, progressive people started camping here and the vibe changed, and that's what we wanted. And two, the big tough bigots suddenly stopped coming here because they couldn't bring themselves to drive past a fucking pride flag.
Very sensitive. They're very sensitive souls, these
They are
bigots.
very sensitive. Yeah, I'd call them snowflakes. I would.
I think it means a lot to people. We have a lot of folks in our community who are queer, who are trans, and who are feeling very attacked right now, under attack. And I think seeing spaces like yours that are unabashedly like, this is what we are, you are welcome here. Are you feeling that energy back from people now that you're out there? People really are starting to know that you guys are here.
Yeah, I get a lot of weird comments from people like that, like, you know, I'm not inclusive because I'm inclusive. You know what I mean? Like they're not welcome here. Like conservatives are not welcome here because like somebody who's gay or non-binary is welcome here. And that's a real weird psychosis that somebody would have. Like, you know what I mean? If you voted for Trump, you can't come here because a lesbian is here. Yeah. That's some weird fucking issue that they have. You know what I mean? And so like, it does give me a little anxiety to check my filtered comments on TikTok and see like what kind of fucking weird shit I'm gonna see in there this week. Like, that's something I have to deal with. But like, at the same time, like it does fuel me to get positive comments and positive energy from members of the LGBTQI plus community and you know, all forms of diversity that camp here. It's really welcome, and it like gives me the energy I need. We go to the bank and like the bank teller is saying I drive by your flag every day, and it makes me, you know, and it's like, it gives me what I need to keep going. So yeah, like I am getting the negative side for sure. There are some small-minded people here, but I am getting really positive energy in it. Like it means a lot to me.
That's great. And I think, I mean, there is something to be said about these inclusive spaces for sure. I mean, and I think I was going to ask you before you brought it up, the progressive communities seem to just generally care a little bit more about the environment, care a little bit more about their surroundings. Like, you know, we're not going to be leaving stuff out on, you know, out on the campground. I feel like that probably just snowballs a little bit for you guys on the good end. But I wanted you to talk about a little bit what were, like in terms of surprises when you first took over the camp, good surprises, bad surprises. What was that first 6 months like when you first purchased the camp and you guys first move in? You were like, all right, we got to do all this, or like actually we're surprised that actually this part is better than we thought? What were the biggest surprises jumping into the camp?
Yeah, I know the geese are honking at us, silly goose. I mean, honestly, like, we knew there was a lot of work to do on the property, but it was really left in disrepair. Like, I can't state it enough that the property itself was really in rough shape. There were like 6 abandoned campers left here. There were like,
oh my God.
We filled like 5 20-yard roll-off dumpsters full of like busted radiators, like box springs in the woods. Like, it was crazy. Like, they never hauled a leaf off the property. They never limbed any of the trees. There were widowmakers hanging off like over every single campsite. It was really in rough shape, and like, they never used pressure treated wood. You know, it was like rough cut lumber on everything. And so, you know, he had enough power in the ground for 20 campsites. He zoned for 66. So we knew we had to renovate the property, but I don't think we knew just how much work we needed to do just to get to like stasis. And so that was a challenge. And, you know, they say when you buy a campground, the best thing to do is to shut it down for a year and kind of get some of the work done, so you're not working around the customers, you know, and you're not like fighting with people that liked it the way it was. But I was a seasonal camper up by Lake Winnipesaukee, and, you know, there were rumors that they were going to sell the camp, and every year the seasonals were like, oh, this is our last good summer, you know? So we felt bad for the seasonals that we were inheriting from the prior owner. So we bought the place on May 1, they showed up on May 10th, and we stayed open that year, and we invited them in. And that was a huge mistake because they wanted the campground the way it used to be. And so I'm renovating a campground around these guys that wanted it the way it used to be. And like I said, like, we magnet fished the playground, and we pulled like 4 solo cups full of like nails and screws out of the playground. But like, what do they give a shit? Because they're like aggro dudes that don't care if their kids are on the playground, you know, as long as they can like sleep all day and drink all night. And so like, I'm doing super hard work renovating a campground, and then just asking them to move the quiet hours from non-existent to 10 p.m. and they're giving me grief about quiet hours. And so it was, you know, expected to do the hard work, but it was not expected to do it like tiptoeing around these guys that have like real fragile egos, you know? And so a couple times I'd have a weird conversation with somebody where they're like, you know, Joe, when we renewed at the end of last year, if we had known that, you know, so-and-so was going to sell the business, if we had known it was going to be like this, maybe we wouldn't have renewed. And I'm like, that's fucking great. Like, let's get to the office, full refund right now. Like, I can't wait to get you out of here. Like, get your camper and meet me at the gate. You know what I mean? So like, that's like the biggest negative surprise that I had, was like, just how hard it was going to be to work with some of the people. But I think one of the positive surprises for me has been like the outpouring of progressive people around here. And like, you know, I didn't expect to be this political at a campground. Like, I just thought I was going to come up here and like see the birds, and, you know what I mean? Like, float the river, you know what I mean? Like, I thought it was just going to be like a perma vacation for us. But like, suddenly, like, I'm really thrust into the middle of this shit, and it's like, I really sometimes feel kind of isolated up here, and the more I get vocal about being progressive and about being for other people, being for underrepresented communities, like, the more those communities are starting to come out and join us here, and like, it's starting to feel really special to me, and like, it feel really important to me. And so like, not that like that's the biggest part of this, but like, it wasn't part of my plan at all. And, you know, the more I realized that, like, people write in the comments, like, business 101, like, don't make it about politics, and like, you just lost yourself a customer. And it's like, motherfucker, like, I'm zoned for 66 campsites, right? And like, we barely have 50 built already. So like, you don't think there's 50 progressive people within an hour of Boston that want to come camp here with me? Like, I don't need your business if you're an asshole. I don't need your fucking business. So like, I'm fine with having a progressive customer list, and then that's it. I'm fine if that's all whoever camps here. Like, I don't need it. Like, I'm sharing my backyard with people that share my values, and that's it. So that's the biggest surprise, is like, they're like, these are my people now. So
that's fucking sick. That's going to be the clip, baby. That was a good one. I want to let you go because it's late and you've been busting your ass. But I want to pull on that last thread because I think it's really important. I want to hear as much as you're comfortable sharing about like where now the kind of big picture vision on this is, and what does this look like for you in 5 years or 10 years? And then also if you have any advice for other business owners that are maybe wanting to be a little bit more vocal or wanting to even just assert themselves as a safe space for people and understanding that that comes with heat. What kind of advice do you have for people that are kind of thinking about being a little bit more out there politically in that regard?
So like the first question, like we don't have plans to expand. We're not going to buy another park. We're not going to expand the operations of this park. We're zoned for 66 sites. We're going to get to 66. We're going to make them as beautiful as we can. We're going to keep upgrading amenities, and we're going to make it like the best glamping campground that we can make it within an hour of Boston, 20 minutes of Manchester, or 15 minutes of Manchester, 20 minutes of Concord. And we're just like, we live on property. We're going to make it like the best place to live, and then therefore the best place to come camp and glamp. Like that's the plans for the property. We're not going to buy another one. We're anti-private equity. We're anti-billionaire. We're anti-fucking corporation. So like that's what we're about, right? That's our plan. Other businesses that like have an opinion, then just share your fucking opinion. Pick your customers. Like we worked in startups. We worked in early stage go-to-market, and like the number one thing we learned is like identify who you want your customer to be, and then just like go speak it into reality, because the more you try to please everybody, the more you're going to fail at doing that. And so go pick your customers, sell to your customers' friends, go sell to your customers' friends' friends, and like you'll be more successful that way anyways. You're not going to please everybody. Stop trying to.
That was beautiful. This one, I'm putting this one on my LinkedIn. This is a good one.
I used to be on it every day. Like I stay away from it now. I used to live on LinkedIn.
Same.
I'm out of it.
But this one, LinkedIn's going to see this one.
These are my old friends.
Joe, thank you so much for
being.
Thank you for having us,
for being
and thank you for chatting with us tonight, and thank you for doing what you do for the community. I think it's really important for you to
Likewise.
like. You're setting an example for people who are trying to do business in like an ethical, community-oriented way, and we appreciate it.
That's crazy. I should be saying these things to you.
Not just being a cool owner, being a cool person. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest thing about you.
Oh,
Like,
you don't
you're
have a mic.
I just think like it's not even about being a cool owner. Like he's legitimately one of the coolest people I've talked to, like sitting down with. So it's just it's such a pleasure, and we really appreciate it.
I respect you both so much.
Thank you. Book your vacations, and I'll take that mic back from you. All right, can we get snaps for Joe? Can we get snaps? Quiet. People are sleeping, but we'll do snaps.
I can't get it off. Am I supposed to eat it now?
Yeah, no, it goes into your belly button now.
How does this work? Can you help me?
Give it to Pat. Pat'll help you. Like, don't make this my problem. You know what I mean? Come on. This is fine. All right, who do I got next? Who's sitting over here? Who do I see? Do I see a Bridget? Do I see? You know what? I'm gonna pull Sinahan in first. I want to pull on her with the. I want to talk about running for office a little bit.
Sisters here.
Is this good? I'm pulling her closer.
Here you go, sis.
A little closer to me.
Do I got a clip? So are
You
we
can hold
eating
it or
this or are we
clip it?
not eating it?
Yeah, you're eating it. It's the tummy sounds are really important for
It's
this.
more comfortable.
on your collar, or would you...
I can't figure that out. I'm scared.
Yeah, just hold it. We're gonna try
I'll
to.
hold it. Does this sound fine?
I feel like I want to move us. What time is it?
It's
I want to like move us along a little bit because Arya was already like
45.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah, we're chill. We're
Are you
good.
trying to get rid of Arya?
Maybe. I was debating, but it's his stream. So.
I can seriously, I don't mind. My voice.
He
is
might
gone.
need to take a break in a few
Juices.
minutes anyway because he starts zoning off. Hey, bud. Thank you for being here. Have you been on a live stream before?
I'm not.
Oh my.
Welcome
first
to my
live
first
stream.
live
Really,
stream.
sis?
Yeah.
Crazy. We're blessed.
I'm always lurking. I'm in the comments. I'm
Oh my
doing the
god.
likes.
Okay, so what I want to talk to you about tonight is you were one of the first people I ever saw on TikTok talking about like running for office in a way where I remember seeing your early videos in your kitchen and you were talking about, you'd always be like making dinner and you'd be like, we're trying to find somebody to run for this. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what even is this? So take us back a little bit. And like, why are you're an average resident here. You are not an elected official in any way. You have a full-time job, but you're in everybody's
girl.
business about running for office.
I'm just a girl. I am in
the
everybody's
best
business.
possible way. So tell us a little bit how you got there.
Absolutely. All right, we're locking in for this one. So
Yeah.
actually, Arya, you mentioned it earlier when you were talking about why you were running and how you were getting excited about it. I'm a data person, so I was trying to figure out. We should. I was trying to figure out why things are going the way they are in New Hampshire. And obviously, I mean, and anybody who's listening knows there's some less than great folks at the New Hampshire State House right now. So I realized that I was in a town with a free state rep, multiple free state reps, who run unopposed every year. And it's the same folks that make horrible decisions, and then when they get called out in public sessions about those horrible decisions, I'll take you back to October of last year. We had a joint school board budget committee meeting. The McGuires were there. And Dan McGuire at some point said, if you don't like what I'm doing, vote me out, but you're not going to. I get reelected every year. Failing to mention that he just runs unopposed.
Right.
So we got together in our tiny red town with a group of nonpartisan folks. We had folks that were Republicans, Democrats, a lot of independents. We have a lot of undeclared independent folks. And we just started talking. We were like, okay, what do we care about? Who do we know? And it's just, tap in your friend. And eventually we find someone to run. So I was looking at it back then because nobody was raising their hands. It's, I'm not smart enough for this. I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough time. And you find out pretty quickly that you're a lot smarter than a lot of the folks that are at the State House right now. So
I think that's the craziest part, actually, that like you walk in that room and you're just like this is what I was intimidated by the whole time, which is, and again, it's just like when I was there, I see a quarter of the room asleep, half asleep. It's just insane. But Sina, you were one of the people that reached out to me about the open seat too, and I want to make that clear that on like the same day that Paige reached out to me, you reached out to me.
I was like, yo, dog, I've been looking at the data.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And I appreciate that so much. And I want to know, are you doing that for the rest of the state? Are there other seats you're doing that for too? Are there any other seats that we could be using candidates in right now? Anything that you could you send out to the ether right now to the people watching?
There are. And so like you're in Nashua, and that was one of the ones I wasn't looking at because I've been so focused on like the small red rural towns in New Hampshire. But Nashua was a great example where I was like, oh, hey, like here's a ward that actually needs somebody to run. Derry has one. I think Londonderry has one. Claremont has a seat that's run unopposed. Epsom, we finally have some good candidates lined up, which is really great. But yeah, there's a whole bunch. But I don't think you need to only run if you're in one of those towns that has a seat that has been unopposed or, whatever. Like, if you care about stuff enough that you want to go make a change, just go do it. Just go do it.
That's great advice.
Mm-hmm. How hard can it be?
I think that's been a big learning is like there's so much opportunity to get in there. Like you said, there's a lot of people who do really, really great work, but there's also a lot of people who treat it like just they're like fun. I don't know, like, but they're not trying and they're not focusing on the issues that working class people care about. I think one of the things, and one of the things I wanted to chat about with you is that you do live in a very deep red area of the state, and that does bring about a whole lot of other challenges. I hear from a lot of people who, when I start talking about running for office, they say, well, I shouldn't even bother because I live in a red area. But I think it's a little bit more complex than that. And I'm curious your thoughts on that as you've been spending the last kind of couple of years with your head in this space and working with this small group. Like, tell me a little bit about kind of that experience of being in a red area and trying to find folks that'll pull the Overton window, I guess, back, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I think some of that too, it's sometimes hard to be brave to speak up in those spaces if you're in a really red space and you're not a Republican, but that doesn't mean that there are only Republicans in that space. So like when I was thinking of running, very honestly, I was going to run as an independent. I wasn't going to run as a Democrat for a multitude of reasons, but that's what was going to be right for my campaign in my town. However, as we've been reaching out to folks and talking to people and trying to find good candidates to run, there are a lot more Democratic folks that just aren't raising their hands and they aren't speaking up because they're afraid to. And as we're making these connections with folks, and it's like meeting up at the library, having people over for a barbecue, like, can we go back to building communities and hanging out with your neighbors, right? Just the other day, like, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I was talking to my neighbor across the street, and we're planning out our gardens to make sure we strategically have, complementary things that we can share in the fall.
So
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's a good year to be strategic about
sure.
what
Absolutely,
you're planting.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about getting out in your community, and I think the more we talk to our neighbors and get to know folks, you're gonna find people. And I was scared, but I'm the person that if I'm scared, someone else is scared too. So I'm gonna go reach out and make a friend and be a resource, and it just multiplies so quickly.
Please.
I think you are such a great example of somebody who has like a very full life and you have a lot of stuff going on and you've decided that right now running isn't the right path for you, but you have still made this your business. And I think that that's really powerful. I was going to ask kind of some final questions. Did you have any other thoughts for Sinahan? But what do you want to share with like the broader kind of NHTok community that's watching? I know you make a ton of great content, but kind of where are you at right now with this? What is like the message you have for people with everything you know, everything that you've been in? What do you think more people need to be thinking about?
So we talk a lot about running for state rep specifically, and that's not necessarily right for everybody. Arya, you were saying earlier, if you have a job where you're working nights or your time is flexible, like that works great. But if that's not the case for you, there's still probably other work to be done. So I was hoping to run and got some news that meant I've got to kick this out for a session or two. But because I was raising my hand and talking to folks and my name was getting out there a little bit more, I got pulled into my school board. So I actually didn't run for school board. Yay. Feel weird for the applause because I did not run for school board. I didn't win that seat, but there was a vacancy shortly after the election and I had multiple people reaching out to me. Please apply, and a couple folks did, and I was the one that got appointed. So that's my position right now. But other than that, like I volunteer with my food pantry every week. Go volunteer with your food pantry. Go volunteer with whatever organizations you can that support a strong foundation within your community.
Hell yeah, I love that. I love that. Every Friday morning, she's schlepping those things around. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for being here and for talking to us. We appreciate you.
Who's the next victim?
I don't know. Who do we got? Who's on deck? Do I got, let's see. I got Bridge. Yeah, Bridge, let's pull you in. And then I got Tia on deck. How about that? We got Bridge next. Tia warms up. Let's take us off.
Bridge!
I know how to put a clip on, unlike some people. Are we sounding good? Yes. All right. We look like we're on Survivor. I can see the camera now. All of a sudden, it looks like we're at tribal council.
Oh my God, we should have done a tribal. We should have done a video.
Very present.
Well,
Getting down to the wire.
We are so excited to have you here, Bridge, and I am a big fan of. Listen, you have been killing it recently with the new thing you got going on at the schools. I don't want to talk too much about it. I want you to talk about it, but I remember the first day you brought it up to Marissa and I, or to us separately, and at least for me, I watched you from the beginning to the end just kind of do it. And it's so impressive. And I want you to talk about it as much as you want. Please tell us all about what you're doing with these schools.
Oh, fun. Well, they're libraries.
Yeah, library, sorry.
I'm just like watching this and I'm like, oh man, I should not have let him start this interview.
I'm not a starter of
It's
interviews, but
not.
you
know
get it.
what? We
Some of them are,
should fund our schools better so that people know the difference, but it's all right.
Tell us about how beautiful it is. Unbelievable.
So I'm gonna
leave my own TikTok.
Do you need to take a break? Yeah, go take a break. So Bridget does this thing that's called Liberty at the Library,
which is a clue to where the venue is. It's been really fun. I really was frustrated with the way there are so many barriers between parents and families, especially people who work a lot, which currently is like most of us, and getting involved in the political space, but also just in your community and in civic engagement in general. And so I noodled on that a little bit, and I work with kids. That's my whole shtick. So I thought of this concept to combine those two ideas and really create a space for working families to come and meet a political candidate who's going to be on their ballot, and also have like a free activity for their kids where that's almost more the focus, and then meeting the candidate and learning about politics in your area is more of like a bonus. So it's Liberty at the Library, and I go across the state to different libraries and have a candidate who can be voted for in that district come, and they read a story to the kids, and then I pull the kids aside and do like a little craft or activity, Last time they got a little rowdy. We were doing a lot of activities, but it all worked out. And then the parents have that chance to use that time to do a very casual, like Q&A, meet and greet, get to know the candidate sort of session, where it's kind of laid back. I'm also working on integrating like community resources, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm really having like a great time with it. Parents have been driving far, like an hour or more, to come to events, which lets me know that we need more spaces like this for families. People are really looking for it.
Liberty at the gymnasium. You guys heard that, right? I'm just kidding. No, Liberty at the library. No,
Next year.
no, that's awesome. What have you found to be the most difficult part of the process? Like, is it booking the library, talking to the libraries? Is it booking the actual candidate?
It's booking the libraries. Yeah, it's totally booking the libraries, because people are really mean to their libraries. And so I will show up and ask a librarian or a staffer or even like a director, and everybody says, oh my gosh, I love that idea. It's amazing. We absolutely need that. There's no way we can do that here. Something with politics at a library, we're going to get eaten alive. So it is a little bit of like a needle in a haystack situation to find places that are able to do it. But it's worth the work, because we have people showing up. And we have, like, I have a lot of demand. I have libraries that want to do it and feel like their communities wouldn't support them. But I think the more that we see it and the more we see communities showing out, we will have more access to more venues in the future. So just going to keep at it.
I just think that it's so incredible how you are tying in you're accomplishing so many different things with this event series. And it's like, it's speaking to what you're passionate about and what you're good at and what you're like interested in and energized by. Like, you're so energized by it, and it's so fucking cool to watch. And like, I want that for everyone, right? Like, I want them to find something that fits in their lane that they can be like, I can own this and I can run with it. And one of the things that I've always focused really heavily on is encouraging people to like work with established organizations or go through these like proper sort of established channels.
Right.
But I kind of love that you're doing this by yourself, because I mean, maybe talk a little bit about that.
Well, so first of all, I don't do well with following direction or reporting to people. So it felt like a better idea for me to just like find a need, which is another option. I didn't want to take something that was already being done. But I felt like there was this deficit of places where not just working parents could come, but families could come. And the kids were kind of the focus and the politics were the bonus. That really was what I wanted to create. And I'm nonpartisan. I care really deeply about policies that candidates have, and that they are walking the walk, and they are putting forth policies that support working families in the average Granite Stater, and really want to improve lives and improve community services like libraries and schools. Those are really like the core principles that I care about. Stuff like healthcare for our kids, and making sure that we're being paid a living wage so we can afford childcare, or that childcare is not as expensive, and that we are not giving tax cuts to huge corporations while families suffer and choose which meal is not going to have meat this week.
Pretty radical shit you're talking about.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy, controversial
I just want everybody to like live, that's all, and have an education.
It's disgusting. You're gross.
But we have
Liberal.
candidates that care so much about that, and we have candidates that really are putting their all into it and struggling to get the message out. And we also have families who are so desperate for a candidate that is going to give them a little bit of inspiration and make them feel like somebody is on their side. Mm-hmm. And they're just missing the space where they can kind of come together.
It's so true. It's like you are absolutely meeting a need. And like, as a parent, having something to do on a Saturday morning with your kid, that's free. And then also like kind of check something off your to-do list of like, oh, I should pay attention. There's election coming.
Yes.
So to that point, and then we'll let you go back to your evening, but tell us a little bit about what the next event you have coming up is.
My next event is Saturday, May 30th with Heath Howard, who has been like highly requested. So I'm excited about this. And it's going to be at the Northampton Public Library in Northampton, New Hampshire. And that's Saturday, May 30th at 10 a.m.
I'm so excited.
I want to add one thing. A librarian who wanted to support my idea, but like knew that her library would not be on board, told me that this is particularly important in spaces like libraries, because so many towns, especially little red towns, don't have like a big flourishing downtown where communities can come together. And the library is that community hub. It's the spot that everybody can go to. It's a third space that doesn't require a financial bar to enter or anybody to be able to like meet any kind of level. And so creating something in that space is really also making it more accessible to everybody. I loved that like library being the community hub for people. I thought was perfect.
It's so true. We have no third spaces anymore. So I think
So
it's
true.
amazing that you are doing your best to work within that constraint as well.
It's great. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to keep doing it. Ask your libraries, by the way, and find me at Hey New Hampshire and tell me where they are, because I'm desperate.
Hell yeah. Thank you for being here. And thank you for
guys.
doing that work.
Absolutely,
I appreciate it.
yeah.
You want to pass that mic off to Tia?
Yeah.
Do you want to take another second guess at
No, you're doing
starting
intros
up?
now. I'm done with
Do you take a
intros
break?
forever.
Anybody need a spray down?
I'm done with intros.
Yeah, actually, give me that.
The candle, I can put it in front of us if you want. There's a bug
That's okay.
candle.
This is like got all the chemicals in it. My brother's a hunter, so this is not good for anybody. Oh my God, yeah, bring me who wants to bring me a marshmallow? No children. No children on camera. Is that my husband? No, I've got one. Thank you though. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
All right, I can't see anything past this light, so I don't know what's going on.
Just don't look at them.
Hi. Hello. Hi. I'm so happy to have you on. This is like our second time streaming together now.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is not your first rodeo. No. Give a quick intro and talk a little bit. So this is our friend Tia. Tia runs the Manchester Diaper Pantry, which is such an incredible, speaking of filling an like incredibly important need. Talk a little bit about, for those who haven't heard of the Manchester Diaper Pantry, give us a brief overview, and then we'll get into some of the like behind the scenes goodies.
Yeah. So the Manchester Diaper Pantry has been around for a couple of years. Originally, it kind of operated out of a like little church organization. But the person who was running it was like, "Hey, like I'm moving to Colorado, shutting it down," and I was like, "No, you're not." 2:00 in the morning, sent her a text message, said, "Hey, let me have this," and she's like, "Yeah, sure." Whatever. So now I run a diaper pantry. I took it over from what it was. We moved out of the space that it was in. We've expanded incredibly, and we serve 150 to 200 children a month with diapers.
That's amazing. And Tia, I saw you had a string of videos talking to Adam Sandler. Do you have any luck with that? Getting Adam Sandler to show up to one of those shows?
No, I didn't. He did not come. But it's really funny because everybody recognizes me in Manchester now. They're like, "You're the lady who's yelling at Adam Sandler on TikTok." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me. Can I have my coffee?"
That's so funny. No, I want you to talk more about that event too. I know some of the people that went to that event spoke very highly about it. Paige Boschman, I know, was there. She spoke very highly about it. But do you have any other events coming up too? And definitely talk more about that comedian event that you had, the stand-up comic event.
Yeah, the comedy event was so fun. I had been planning that for honestly not that long, but I wanted it to go off without a hitch because I personally love comedy. I think there's just like so much too like going on in the world that we're living in where like we just need a break. We need comedy. So to throw that event, it was just like it gave me such like joy to do. I sold out the room to like 80 people, which is insane because I'm just Tia. So I looked around and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. Like I was like looking at people like, is this real life? And we raised a lot of money, but most importantly, we got our name out there, right? A lot of name recognition. The social medias like went off. Like it really boosted things for us. We've gotten so many letters in the mail of like, hey, we saw your TikToks. We want to support you. Here's a check. So wow. It really did more than just that single event for us.
That's awesome.
I think that you are, I'm just like, I love listening to you talk because I think you are such an incredible example of somebody who like really has just you dove into this and you said like, I can do this. I have the capacity to do this. And I'm capable of doing this. And you're getting that, you're starting to see like the return on that and the confidence of like, hell yeah, I can pull 80 people. Hell yeah, I can do this kind of stuff. Yeah. And I think we have all these like ideas in our head about what we can or cannot do, or we are or not able to do. But like, I don't know, we're in such crazy times right now. I have this like total delusional optimism that's just like, no, we all should just decide to take over a nonprofit and like throw a big comedy show and try to raise a bunch of money and try to get our name out there. So can you tell me a little bit about like the feel good piece of this? Like, is there an element of like, all right, like, hell yeah, we can kind of do some of this stuff. Like I can actually make a material impact on the people that are living in my community.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, and it's a feel-good feeling every time, right? Like every time I open the door, so we run out of the YWCA in downtown Manchester, and every time I unlock the doors and I welcome people into the space and I say, hey, like if there's anything else you need, please let me know. And they're just so grateful, and you know, and it's open to anybody too. We don't need proof of financial hardship. If you think you need the diapers, just come and get the diapers, because I want to make sure that you're not stressed out, because less stress for the parents means less stress for the kids. And they're just so grateful every time. And I've made like a lot of really good connections with just people in the community who are just everyday people, just looking for help, and they can't get it anywhere else. Yeah.
One thing I want you to talk about is, we're on my TikTok live, right? I'm a single 40-year-old guy. I don't have kids, okay? I've never bought diapers, right? So
good for you.
Yeah, but people don't understand. Guys like me, really, guys that are in the same boat as me, they don't know really the cost and how insane it can be for a family with 2 kids, for example. So I was hoping you could just talk a little bit to the you know, the tough guys that are watching me on TikTok right now that have never even thought about that cost. It's just like a blind cost. It's not something they consider. And I just wanted you to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so diapers alone, like the average family will spend somewhere between $150 to $250 a month, depending. A lot of things obviously depend. You know, a newborn poops way more than a 6-month-old, as we both know. So you blow through diapers like crazy, especially in the first few months. So it can cost, you know, upwards of $150 a month for a family to afford diapers. So, and it doesn't sound like a lot to maybe someone who's a single person with, you know, no kids, who has this income that they don't have to spend it on. But to a family who's even struggling at the grocery store, like $150 could mean the difference between, like Bridget said, choosing between meat for your meals and diapers. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'll let you go in a minute, but any advice for people who, like, this was not your background, correct? Like this was a learning experience. Yeah. And so you not only dove into doing the work, you dove into like learning how to do that. What is the work?
Yeah.
Any advice for people who are maybe like, I have this crazy idea. Should I like go off and do this thing? You know, what thoughts do you have for them?
Yeah. So, I mean, like find something that's like relative, I guess, like, right. So like I'm in maternal health, so it does, you know, connect to what I do for a living. But also I've never run a nonprofit before. I didn't know what bylaws were. I didn't know how to find a board of directors. You know, like you say, like find something that's already existing. But if it doesn't exist, you know, creating it, yes, it takes time. And I've spoken to many people who have been in similar situations who start their nonprofit. And it's just, you really got to just do the research. Mm-hmm. I did it all in like 6 months, which is crazy to do by yourself. But people are always telling me, you know, nonprofits are run for the people, by the people, right? So you have to pull in people from the community. Mm-hmm. You can't just do it by yourself. I have some incredible people helping me out, even one of them staying with us here at the campground. She's my director of fundraising, and she just recently joined, but she has been so helpful in taking on like some like menial tasks that I was like, I don't have time to write these letters. Could you write these letters for me? Mm-hmm. So, you know, reaching out to people who may have a few extra minutes in their schedule to help you out is super important.
Yeah, like finding people that you already are in community with. How did you meet? Did you and Sarah meet?
Yeah.
If it's personal, you don't have to answer that. I'm just curious.
No, I honestly can't even remember how I met her. I think we met on TikTok. I think that I went on live with you. No, because that was after. Yeah. I think I just started following NHTok, honestly, and then like somehow our lives merged, and she lives right down the street from me.
That's amazing.
I would have never met her otherwise.
I think like using these tools to like find and connect with each other is so powerful. So Tia, thank you for what you do materially and also for just like giving us the inspiration, because it's really amazing and I appreciate you so much. And I'm glad you're here.
I appreciate you guys.
Yes. Yay. All right, who are we going to drag in next? Does Ken's have a marshmallow for me?
Is she going to feed you live?
I would like that.
Okay, all right, cool.
Is this where I leave?
Tia.
Do I leave now?
Amazing. Perfect. Oh my God, thank you so much. No, none for Arya though.
No.
No s'mores.
Once you run for office, I'm done with you. I'm like,
He's a candidate now. It's very unflattering to eat s'mores on camera. I, on the other hand, I'm not running for shit, so I'm gonna eat this fucking s'more.
For your subscribers who want to watch you eat a s'more while we do this.
Thank you for coming on. I didn't know if you were gonna chat with us tonight. It's good to be with you.
Well, it's late. It's us and the frogs and the geese and the I almost said flies, but the mosquitoes are hanging. So yeah.
Can we talk? I mean, we don't have to talk about work. Can we talk about NHTok?
Yeah.
Can we talk about just like, okay, so obviously like people view you as like one of the founding mothers, right? Like you with your pink headband telling me things about New Hampshire politics were like activating for me and a lot of people here and a lot of people probably watching. What has it been like for you? You know, you've been working, you work at you're at the State House all the time. You've been advocating on the behalf of moms for many, many years. You've been in this rodeo for a long time. What has the last couple of years felt like? There's a lot of ways it's felt worse, but I imagine there's some ways that it's starting to feel different as well in a positive direction.
Absolutely. Well,
so I'm going to eat my marshmallow while you answer that question.
Well, I was going to say first, I think Arya got a great tutorial today on how to do a bee, like with my camping, my glamping makeup at camp. So if nothing else, Arya's learned how to do his skincare because of my TikTok. So that makes me proud.
It's true.
And it's looking great, my friend.
Thank you. I learned from the best.
Yeah, hey. Over the past couple of years, it's been just really crazy, I think. I don't want to discredit the work that you all have done to help create.
We're just being friends.
I mean, but that's we talk a lot about community, right? And
hell yeah.
We have created this community, and even just the few folks that are here tonight, like I was saying to you earlier, in this sort of full circle moment, I was in a meeting last week talking about vacancies, and names are being thrown out in the room, and they're like, oh no, Arya's got that one. Oh, we hear that someone else who is on this trip right now might be running for another one. And so it's really cool because, just a couple short years ago, we were all kind of just doing our own thing solo, and now we've created this humongous community of people who are like supporting one another, running for office, doing amazing things, helping each other. I mean, helping each other go through huge life changes, and it's all of those things that's going to help drive us to the change that we need, not just the hey, running for office, which is great, but it's just all the things. So I don't know, huge changes. And also it's great to see some of the older generation, thank you so much for your work. We're really thankful for a lot of the work that you've done. And we're excited to see a lot of young people kind of take over the reins, and folks like our age who are running organizations now and running for office, but also just Pat behind the scenes, who's been doing all of the audio and visual for NHTok. And just it's cool to know you guys, and it's cool to be surrounded by people our age who are working to just do cool shit, make change, and hang out and have our kids here while we do it. And
hell yeah, I completely agree. And listen, you were one of the first people, Kenz, that I saw on TikTok when I first started posting too, and you've been in the thick of it for a long time. And I want to know, as someone who's been doing this longer than I've been posting about it, right? How do you feel going into 2026? Are you coming in with hope? Do you feel like things are changing for the better? What are you noticing on the ground, being there probably longer than anyone else that I deal with, really?
Yeah. Well, it is 2026, so we're in it. We're going into it.
Right.
If we're thinking about 2027, I'm definitely thinking a lot. As we cycle out of the biennium, where our legislative session is kind of wrapping up, and we're seeing the full cycle of the bills that have gone through the legislature over the past couple of years, my brain is shifting in this sort of part of the session to what kind of policy initiatives do we want to work on over the next 2 years. Next year we're going to be in a budget cycle, so hey, that's when we met the very first time when I was freaking out about a budget. So we're about to be back there where we're going to have quote unquote money to deal with, money to spend. Maybe, we'll see. TLDR, probably not. But in order to have a successful we have to have a successful election, and have to have, a House and a Senate and a governorship that can support all of the things that we want to work on. And so now we're just laser focused, I think, on the elections, while also knowing here are the many pathways that we could take forward, or the election is going to take us, and here are the policy options we have if we have this, and we have this, and it's a kind of spaghetti in my brain all the time. I wake up singing songs, thinking about policy, which is so dorky, but so elections are going to help, thinking about policies are going to help, and like talking to you all is also so helpful because it gives me it's a gauge on how everyone else is like sort of perceiving the work, and also the issues on the ground. Like, what do we need to work on next? What are the policies we got to do? So
I love that. I think it's something you mentioned is like, talking to the NHTok people. And what I always like to remind folks too is that it's not just the people that are making videos. NHTok is so much larger than people realize because there are literally tens of thousands of lurkers. Like there's tens of thousands of lurkers.
Yes.
And these are people that are commenting. They're sending all of us DMs.
Yes.
All of us have we appeal to different people. And so Arya has different people follow him than me, and the different people that are here. And we're able to, as a group, hear from a lot of people, reach a lot of people. And that feels pretty interesting, right? It feels exciting. And so it's really nice to have inroads with people like you and with a lot of other folks who are doing amazing work across the state. Like Arya says, so we're not just like online leftists screaming at clouds. But speaking of not just being online screaming at clouds, you have also ran for, do you want to talk about your run this year and what you accomplished personally?
Sure, yeah. I ran for school board in my little town. There were 2 seats open and 3 folks running, and the second person that I ran with was a mom in town, great mom, and the third person that was running was a homeschool dad, which gave us like I wonder what's going on here now. Like, there's homeschool families in our communities, of course, and we knew that this character had been on the ballot before, had some interesting policy histories. It was sort of a red flag, and it was sort of just one of those moments. It's like, if not us, who? If not now, when? Floating in the back of my mind from whatever politician said that all those years ago. And I don't have time. And I'm really tired, and I was just like, fuck it, I don't know what else to do. This is another thing, and I do it now, and it's really rewarding, and we've got really hard choices to make, but I'm getting it, and you can do it too, and there's people who are going to support you. And actually Sinahan was on earlier talking about how she was appointed to her school board, and I think like the TLDR is that fake it till you make it. You get there and then you figure it out, and we're going to make it better, which I'm really excited about. But all that to say that like all of us have more than I think we realize. I get that we're all really tired, and that it's a lot to be in this all the time. We're all dealing with like the cost of everything going up. We're all dealing with these issues, and so we're all carrying a lot, all of us at the same time. So I don't want to, minimize that, but at the same time, like, you can do this. Please step into the work if you have any capacity, whether that's, it doesn't have to be run for office. It can be help AV, so that we can produce amazing videos that help people understand the process, or help us create social media content if you're creative, or you want to write songs or like make art. There are so many ways that you can get involved, and we just really need folks to like open yourselves up a little bit, come out of your shell. I know COVID made us like afraid. Time to come back into community. We need you more than ever. Let's do this shit together.
I was literally about to ask you a final question, which was going to be like, what message do you have for NHTok and for the people watching? But I think that's so, it's so important because I think we all have kind of retreated into our bubble. I think a lot of people are like frozen in kind of panic of like, this is getting really bad really fast. And I think people are processing that in waves. And to your point, I think we all have to push ourselves a little bit out of our comfort zone. Not so much that you can't, because we all also have to like take care of our well-being, but I think we can stretch. A lot of us can probably stretch more than we are. And I talk to people like that constantly who are starting to take those baby steps. And it's like, that's why I'm such a big advocate of like taking those little steps, because even something like going to a Moms Rising event could be enough to light a fire, right?
Love to have you.
So you never know. So anything else you want to like plug while you're here?
Yeah, I'll just say two things. I think like just to wrap up your last thought that you had there was something that popped into my head is like something that gave me a little bit of more room is just owning and thinking about the privilege that I have to turn off sometimes. Some of that, like I don't want to be in it because I'm in it a lot and I want to walk away when I want to walk away so I can mentally block it out. But that's privilege, right? Like I need to use that privilege in the space that I have for good. So please think about that when you're thinking about the space that you have. And then the last thing I want to say is like, it's not the end of June yet. Our legislative session is still happening. And I have some bad news, folks. We've got a book ban that's also a materials ban. So anything from plays to maps to outside speakers could be challenged by a community member. It's coming to a school near you. It's headed to Kelly Ayotte's desk. So we need to ask Governor Kelly Ayotte to veto Senate Bill 434. We're going to be hosting a read-in, Moms Rising with ACLU and 603 Equality on June 11th, which is a Thursday. We know that's hard. It's during the work week. We're talking about 11 a.m. So again, I know that's really hard, but if you're around, we'd love to really have you. We're going to have reading circles in every corner of the State House to tell the governor, put your pen where your mouth is, say that you're for freedom, say that you're for local control. Do it. Veto.
You said June 11th?
Yeah, I was going to say, send us a text about that one.
I'm there.
June 11th, see you in the halls of the State House. Bring your banned books and join us and keep going. So thanks for having me. Let's have a great camp day.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We really appreciate having you. And I can't speak for Marissa. I plan on being there 100%.
Well, you're running for office now, so you basically
I know. That's going to be my first,
first
event after officially signing. Yeah, that's right. It's special.
You heard it here first.
Thank you so much.
Can I give you this back?
Yeah. Bye. I'm just here to meet you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Do we have Melody? And then is there...
I think Mel, maybe that might be it.
I think that's it. Does anybody else want to go on after Mel that I missed? Give me 1 second. Okay. Christy, you're good. Do you want to come say hi? This is obviously very formal. Oh, that's not the microphone. That's the clip. Cool. Oh, man.
We're
Guys.
stable. We're good.
That was a delicious s'more. It was so good. Thank you, whoever made it.
Where is the top? Right here?
Oh, yeah, it's that little
We
part.
have 14 people.
Oh, shit! Okay, we'll keep going. Christy, come on, you're on deck. What's up?
Not a whole lot of people here. I feel like that's a lot of outside people.
I know, right? Hey, bud.
Hi.
How are you? Do you want to make sure he stays off camera? It's up to you.
Matrix.
But
Go sit, please. Go sit, please.
you're doing great, bud.
You're doing so wonderful. Appreciate you.
I'll keep her quick, though. We'll do it fast.
Yeah, we'll do a quick one.
And then we're doing presidential trivia later.
We'll do one quick thing.
Nice. Melody, another one of the, like, OG TikTok NHTok people. Like, you were one of those people I will never forget seeing your videos when I got started and being like, she's so cool. Like, oh my God. And now we're friends. So that's really cool for me. But tell us a little bit about maybe, like, yeah, let's just talk about NHTok for a second. Let's talk a little bit, because I want to get into the Discord. But, like, let's take a step back and tell us a little bit about your perception and experience on this journey and how you ended up sort of running the Discord.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll be really honest. When this all started for me, I was in a very bad place. I was isolated. I was extremely fearful. I was coming off of like extreme physical pain from 2 lower disc herniations. And Trump was just elected. And the world was crumbling down. And I suddenly found myself with no community, no friends, kind of just like in this world where I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much wrong and there's so much work that needs to be done. I feel like I have marshmallow all over myself.
No.
I'm so sorry.
You're probably thinking that because you're looking at me.
You're fine. You're fine.
I was stuffing my face before I came in. That's why I was like, oh no, give me a second.
They're very sticky.
So yeah, I was kind of in that place. And I actually saw a video from Ken's. She was doing a get ready with me. To go to the State House with Moms Rising to fight for moms in the state of New Hampshire. And I was just so inspired by what she was doing. And then I saw your videos and I saw Arya's videos. And then I reconnected with Sinihan and I went to high school together. So the way New Hampshire Talk just kind of organically formed in my life, it was the people that I saw who were kind of in the same predicament as myself, like not in like the isolation aspect, but maybe in like the, oh wow, like I have just come to the realization that there is like a lot wrong that like we can actively be participating in. And I wanted to surround myself with people who wanted to be participating in the work. So that's kind of what led me to getting involved with New Hampshire Talk. And how the Discord started was you asked me if I would be willing.
I don't remember that.
You asked me if I would be willing to start a Discord because you and I had a few conversations about how like the discussions we were having on TikTok were getting flagged, and like it was before the TikTok sale, so a lot was up in the air, and we were like really fearful about what that was going to look like. Were all of our accounts going to get banned? Were we going to lose access to our FYPs where like we were showing up on each other's pages? So that's kind of where you gave me the push, and you were like, hey, I think we need like an alternative space for us to start maybe expanding and start funneling people into the different orgs, into the different workspaces that they could like connect with, that connects with them, that they can show up for consistently, because that's really all it takes. All it takes is showing up consistently for like one thing, and bam, suddenly you're involved, you're part of the community. Beautiful. So that's really what started the Discord, and it has grown far surpassed what I ever could have imagined it to be. Quite frankly.
Out of control.
And you deserve a ton of credit for that. Seriously, the way you've put that together, the way you mod it, the way you've really validating the people that are coming in and everything. I know it's a lot of work. And I love what you mentioned about like watching people, because your story is all of our stories. Like one of us watched another person's video and then we showed up to an event. And I want to know from you especially, and again, I want people to know, I think there's this kind of this aura about New Hampshire Talk where we are giving orders to people, like there's someone maybe giving orders to people to go talk about something or to go post about something, but no, it should scare you much more than that. It's organic.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm telling people not to post.
It should terrify you that it's organic, that it's happening on its own. No one is being told. And I love that everyone has their own lane and they're talking about, you know, the things that they're good at and they love. And I want to know that first event. After you went to that first event, how did you feel? What did that do for you looking forward to the next event? Like, how did that motivate you for the future?
So the first event that I went to was the One Quick Thing podcast live at Auspicious Brew. And it inspired me to get involved more with the community and start posting more political content. Because at the time, I had dabbled a little bit in posting more local. I was speaking more broadly nationally in a lot of my content. After going to One Quick Thing, I kind of found my power in that it's okay for me to talk about these things. I felt like I just didn't know enough. And to be honest, I didn't know a lot. And that's a lot of what I talked about, was the learning process, showing up to the State House for the first time, being like really confused about what floor to go to, and quickly texting Ken's and being like, please help me, I don't know where I'm going. Yeah, I mean, it really inspired me, and that's why I really hope everyone can at least show up to like one event, because that's all it takes, is just showing up that first time, to ignite the fire and meet the people, and to meet the people that you could be comrades with in this fight for whatever it is you want to change, you see like a better future in.
That's been a thread in a lot of our conversations tonight, is like people meeting one other person too, that kind of like was able to introduce them to somebody, then got them into a room. And like, truly it is just getting into a room, right? Like my event is like a Moms Rising event that Ken's threw with Christina Warner Hamilton from Repro Equity Now. They threw an event and that like activated me. And it really is just like, get yourself out the door, start meeting one person, and you just never know what ripple effects will come after that. I want to go back to the Discord just for a minute. You and I have a lot of like philosophical discussions about the Discord and like what is it and what should it be and what is the ethos. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about, for those who are like, God, I don't know, Discord's another app. Do I need to be on another app? What's the advantage of joining the NHTok Discord? Who should join the Discord? What are people getting out of it?
Well, I will say, if you're a millennial, it'll bring you back to like the OG chat rooms, because that's ultimately what it is. It's just like an extensive chat room where we have multiple threads. So we'll have like a state news discussion, we have a general discussion thread, we have like in-person activities where we can talk about events that are happening. We have a whole like candidate corner where we are talking about like the Senate, Congress, state rep races, what those candidates are doing, looking for volunteers and stuff like that. We do a lot of live streams. We're trying to encourage more people to jump on the live stream bandwagon. Right now we have the New Hampshire Talk Unplugged, which is a little sporadic. We're hoping to kind of get a better schedule.
That's fine.
It's okay, because we're all doing our best.
Yes.
And that's really all it takes, is just you showing up and trying your best.
Absolutely. Okay. Last question do you have any more questions for Mel before? Give her one more.
I just are you doing anything else right now besides NHTok Discord? Is there anything else that you're working on, or anything that you plan on doing in the future?
Oh my goodness.
A lot of something. What do you want to
I am
about?
so I am an active member of the Southern New Hampshire chapter of Democratic Socialists of America. I do a lot of work with my comrades there. I am also the comms lead for a grassroots political campaign, someone who is running for U.S. Senate, Krishma Manzur, which I'm very proud of that work. Yes. She is queen, and I think we can get her there. And that's actually the last thing I'd really like to touch on, is that if we want corruption out of our politics, if we want big money and super PAC money out of our politics, if we want genuine representation, we must be standing behind the candidates that are not accepting PAC money, that are genuinely coming from good places, that are standing on the correct political platforms, that do not falter. Their voice doesn't quiver when asked the hard questions. Like, they truly stand for like what's right. We need to be standing behind them and helping them in any capacity that we can. Whether that's phone banking, canvassing, donating $5, sharing posts online, it helps much more than you could ever realize. So join the fight.
Amazing. Thank you. Yes, everyone's clapping. Everyone loved that. No, it's so true. Thank you for everything you do. We barely even touched on. Do you want to give a quick 30-second mutual aid speech of because you are such an incredible advocate for just getting involved in mutual aid. And I do want to make sure we talk about that really quick.
So something I think is very, very important is that we are focusing on building parallel systems to the harmful systems that are failing us consistently, because those are not going to change, and they're especially not going to change in time to help the people that need help right now. So when looking to give back, I always encourage looking for nonprofit mutual aids that are direct community action, where your funds are directly going to help people. I always like to platform the New Hampshire Mutual Aid Relief Fund, because it is a horizontal hierarchy. There is no top shareholders or anything. 100% of the donations go to the free stores. They have free stores across the state that provide free food, clothing, medical supplies, hygiene, miscellaneous stuff, tents, camping equipment, and also there's also places like the Community Food Supply, which started up, and they are giving free hot meals to those in need. They show up at Veterans Park every Sunday from 1 to 2 and provide hot meals to anyone who wants it. So please look into giving to organizations like that that are directly helping your community.
Hell yeah, and volunteer.
And please volunteer.
I want to throw in too, MARF they're all over the state. I learned about MARF specifically through Mel. And I went to Nashua MARF for the first time last week, and I'm telling you, the work that they're doing is just phenomenal. It's just, like you said, it's all volunteers, and you get a sense of what community is when you're working with these groups, and I think it's so important, and I think it's so important that's what you're advocating for.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you for everything you do, ma'am. Appreciate you. Also, Mel, I'm ready for Mel to run for office. Yeah, she's got some stump speech stuff there. Oh. Christy, do you want to pop in for a few? Want to say hi? Come in, just say hi, and then we'll let our neighbors rest. I'm what time is it? We're getting late. But I wanted to pull you in real quick and say hi. Tell us, Christy, you have been such an important member of the NHTok community for such a long time now, and you create such amazing content, and you are fighting the fight in real life. You're bringing a lot of great, you are such an incredible advocate for workers' rights and unions and all this stuff that we all, I think so many of us hold in very high regard. Can you talk a little bit, do you want to tell us a little bit about like how you got involved with this gang of misfits and what that experience has been like?
I don't know how I got here, but here I am. Actually, a year ago, almost exactly, I started a TikTok, Christy for the People, and immediately you guys all came in and were like, New Hampshire person that's talking about politics, hello. I'm like, oh my gosh, hi. And so it's kind of wild because I think the first step is really just making the first step. And I was really scared to like put my voice out there, but the minute I did, I was met with compassion, and I was met with people that were also talking about the same things that I was. And so I think we get in our heads a lot about what if I say the wrong thing or what if I do this or that, but honestly, you just need to talk to others, and that will open up so many doors for you. And so just taking the first step is really how I got involved with all y'all. But
I love that. And I want to know, like, what pushed you to get involved? What was it? Was it something that happened in life? Was it something that you saw going on in the world?
That's a loaded question.
What was your story? Yeah, give it up, Christy.
Yeah, no, I think for many people, lived experiences kind of push us to where we are today. And for me, I grew up in poverty, and I think that was instrumental for me because I grew up in a place that had money and I did not. And I knew immediately that the world was not meant for everyone. And I think that is when I was like, that's not right. The world is meant for everybody, and we all live here, and we should all have equal opportunity. And so I think it's just been a culmination of that throughout my life. I've seen these experiences where people are just treated unfairly, and it grinds my gears. Moral clarity, right? We need that. And so yeah, I think so that's it.
So Christy, you were really involved in a lot of the work around the Merrimack facility. You're from Merrimack, the Merrimack area, and can you tell us a little bit about, you're in a very red community, you're in very red spaces a lot. Do you have anything that you would want to, like, any advice to share to folks in the NHTok community who are feeling like maybe isolated and alone and like they're the only one in their workplace or in their community or in whatever their space is? Do you have any advice for them on how to kind of move through that experience?
Yeah, I think taking it back to the first part about the first step is the hardest, but the first step is needing to talk about what you're feeling, even if your voice shakes, right? Whatever that quote is. Like, it is not going to be easy to have these conversations, but I feel like once people start talking, they find that other people agree. And then they say, whoa, maybe I'm not wrong. And maybe I'm not living this falsehood that things could be better. Maybe they actually could be better. And I think my advice would be, if you are nervous to take the first step, go under an alias name. Make your own TikTok that has got nothing connected to you. And I think if you do that, you'll be surprised that there actually is a lot of people that agree. I mean, there's so many. This New Hampshire Talk is just it's just the epitome of like what we're trying to gather here, like community, and it's just amazing to see.
There
Love
is
it.
so much space for so many different types of people from different backgrounds with different perspectives, and we just appreciate everybody who's like lending their voice to this, because you bring so much to the table that's unique to you. And so can you I want you to plug your TikTok, and then last question is just, is there anything right now that there's a lot of darkness, there's a lot of happening, is there anything making you feel optimistic or energized right now?
Hell yeah, this space. Like, you guys, every single day that I log into my TikTok, I like wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't want to do this today. Fuck this. Like, everything is falling apart. And then I see you guys talking your shit. And I know that we are doing something because people are finally talking about it. For so long, nobody knew what was going on because nobody was plugged in. And now I see so many more people talking, like coming up on my For You page that I never knew before. And I'm like, wow, there's like more and more of you. I love it. Like cockroaches can't get rid of us.
Yes.
Just multiplying, yeah. I think like being in a space where you... it's like, again, it's hard to put yourself out there, but when you find community, it is like you got to keep striving for that. I think so many of us our whole life have lived without that community, and once you find it, you realize how vital it is to your mental health, to your well-being, to everything. And it is how we get through this. It is how together is how we get through this. Like you're talking about the labor movement, like everything with unions is power and number, solidarity. When you have more people together, you can make real change. So we got to just keep pushing through, as shitty as it can be sometimes.
Hell yeah.
We gotta do it, and we will do it. We'll do it. We'll get through this.
I
somehow
appreciate you so much. Christy for the people still?
Yes, Christy for the people.
Follow her on TikTok. She makes some incredible stuff. Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys. Yeah, you know, I started my TikTok wanting to run in 2026. You know, shit happens. Unfortunately, could not do that this year, but 2028 is happening. Merrimack.
We're building, baby. We're building. We can't wait.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Christy.
guys.
Here, I'll take that back from you. Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God. We should probably wrap it up.
Yeah,
it's late, but like.
That was awesome.
That was so fun.
Yeah, this was like everyone that I wanted to really, in this space, the New Hampshire Talk space, I know there's so many more people that could be here too, but like all these people were really instrumental in like me deciding to jump in, and you can just hear like the thread coming from everyone, what's important to everyone and how passionate they are about it. It's like, it just makes me keep pushing, you know. I love it. I love hearing it. So.
Absolutely. I love what Christy was just saying about people, this conversation's happening out in the open among a lot of us who, you know, some of the criticism we get from people is that we're not like political insiders. Like, we're not people who have been like super in the fray on this, but like a lot of the people who are here and who are participating in all the stuff that we do online, it's because they want to now be part of it. And we are trying to create the space that says like, come be part of it with us. Like, we want you to do this with us. We want you to make content. We want you to join us at events, join us at, you know, read-ins in the hallway of the State House. We want you to run for stuff. We want you to show up at a MARF shift, okay? You don't even have to register. You can just show up at a MARF shift and put stuff out and help. We want you to come in and do that with us. And like, there is real camaraderie, there's real partnership and friendships and amazing stuff that's being built here. And so this is like a really fertile ground for people to come and hang out and build something. And that's the deal. Is we're not in this for, this isn't just about Arya's election in 2026, although he might want you to believe that it is. I'm just kidding. This is we're all in this for the long haul. Like, we're not going fucking anywhere. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So
definitely. And I would, if, you know, I don't want to, you know, take up too much time, but the last thing I would say is that, like, I think you've heard it from so many people that your neighbors are your greatest superpower right now. Mm-hmm. Seriously. Like, you should know more about your town than you do about your political party. Like, that needs to be the number one goal that you have. And I think that, again, once that becomes your goal, once you start building these parallel systems, like, which is what we're trying to do. And again, when you start building power, which is like what we are trying to do, people start talking about you and they start trying to maybe smear you a little bit. And if I want to tell you right now, if you've ever heard that New Hampshire Talk is not, we want you here with us. Talk with us. We want you to come up to us. And when you see us out in public, come say hi. I can't tell you how many people, to me for sure, I can't tell you how many people have come up to me in, like, just in Merrimack or in like these places we are in public, and it means the world to me. Like, I don't have 1 million followers. I just care. You know, we all care. That's one thing that we all have in common, and we know a lot of you care too, and we want you to be a part of this because we're stronger together. Like, you know, when there's one or two of us, but when there's like a whole wave of us organically without being, you know, measured or being told what to do, I think there's a real force multiplier occurring, and I can feel it every time I'm in space with you guys too. It's something to behold. It's something I really notice.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people feel really alone right now. And I think what we're trying to show people is you're not alone. If you believe in this crazy kind of shit we're talking about, you're not alone. Even though you hear some insane headlines out of the state of New Hampshire, you're not the only person who feels the way you do. There's a lot of us here. and we are fighting hard. And we're not alone. There's a lot of other people who've been doing incredible work, like great groundwork. And so we are just excited to like add to that in the way that we are. And we're really excited to start having more folks showing up in the State House. So for those who maybe missed the beginning, do you want to talk a little bit, want to wrap us up with a little elevator pitch?
I will wrap it up. I am Arya Shams. I am running for New Hampshire State Rep. I announced today. Thank you. And I am here with a lot of my close friends and family and people that have been very supportive. And again, I just want to make clear that this campaign isn't some individual political like assertion that, or a dream that I have had. Like, I did not think that I would be in state level politics, and I'm just pissed, man. Like, I'm just pissed. And I know so many people who are angry, and they know New Hampshire is so much more than the garbage that's been coming out of the State House over the past 6 years, right? Like, the 6 years has been just a super majority of free staters wrecking the last parts of this state that work. And I'm begging you guys, I need allies in there. I'm in a blue area. I don't know. It would be terrible if I'm one of the first blue people to lose my seat to a red person. I don't see that happening, okay? But when I'm in there, I need help. There are people in there. There are amazing reps. They need your help too. So if I could tell you anything, is that don't be scared by the process. If I can do it, okay, you guys can all can do it. Serious. September 8th. Thank you so much, Pat. September 8th is the primary. November 3rd is September 8th is the primary that I'm on the ballot. November 3rd is the general. So definitely it's the same as your midterm elections too. The dates are the same as the federal delegation election. So pay attention and jump in the race. It's not too late. June 3rd to June 12th. Tell your Nashua friends.
See, look, Pat's learning how to be the PR.
That's my comms director. My comms director.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Pat. Oh, my gosh. Pat's doing so great. He knows I'm petering out because it's like after 9 p.m. So he's like, Marissa's falling asleep in the chair.
Marissa had to give me a lollipop halfway through this. Just like, distract me.
Yes, oh, man. Okay, well, I have a podcast called One Quick Thing. I host it with my friend Emily. We do a monthly live show at Auspicious Brew in Dover. The goal of the podcast is to get people off their couch and doing something. Do one quick thing that makes you feel more connected to your community. This month, we're hearing from our listeners, and we're inviting our listeners to come on mic, tell us a little bit about something that they do in their community that has made them feel more connected, made them feel more human, not alone. And so we'd love to have you come out. It's May 26th, 7 p.m. at Auspicious Brew in Dover. I'm at Hi, This is Marissa on TikTok. You can find me there, and you can find all the details over there on my thing.
And the last thing I want to say, that's where I met Marissa at One Quick Thing. That's where a lot of us met. I'm telling you, if you're around, come. I'm going to be there. A whole bunch of people are going to be there.
We'll see.
And I want to plug, I want to plug one more thing, is that our friend Pat is having a show June 4th, Rochester, New Hampshire. It's also my birthday. I will be there. We are going to, it's going to be an NHTok celebration at Rochester. What's the name of the bar? The Garage? The Garage. I remember. See? Yeah. God, I love you. Rochester, June 4th. Be there. We're all going to be there.
Come hang out.
Please.
You can sit with us. Come hang out, guys. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank
you
so
everyone
much.
who spoke. Appreciate you guys. Snaps
love
for
you guys.
Just all of you.
Love you guys.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Pat, behind the camera. Thank you guys for watching.
For the support.
Kill that shit. I'm done. I got to go to bed. It's my bedtime.